Hey everybody, welcome to Randy's Road Life. I'm Randy. If you hadn't already figured that out, please like and subscribe so you can get these notifications and dealing with topics that I would like to make you aware about, and also potential new drivers. For us to also move forward in our professional lives and maybe even our personal lives, for us really to help one another and to consolidate some type of knowledge. You can also go on League of Professional Truck Drivers, which you'll find on Facebook, and like and follow that also. And if you like to post things on there that's pertaining to truck driving, that's really non-recruiting as far as recruiters or transportation officers are concerned. But if you're a truck driver and you would like to get information out there that's pertinent to us, then please contact me and let's go about that. So you saw the title of this video, and it's very important that the issue comes about when you got guys and women, for that matter, that need jobs, they need employment, and truck driving has been a very good means of employment for individuals trying to come up right out of the hole, maybe even people who are actually just trying to make a career change and are just not happy where they're at. It doesn't matter if you're a convicted felon, you're broke, whatever. Look, truck driving provides a means for people. And let's deal with the mega carriers, because mega carriers are good for one thing and one thing, only giving you a job. All right, they can give you a job, but there's the heartache, the headache, the confusion, ambiguity. It's just so convoluted there that eventually it will cause you more headache than anything, because we're dealing with these huge carriers that got thousands of drivers, right? And so you get a myriad of personalities and characters that you have to deal with, driver managers, dispatchers, things of that nature. And they can't concentrate on one driver at a time. They can't do it. And so how much hands-on do you receive when you have a very important issue? That is an issue, right? That is an issue. Excuse me, I really don't need that on right now. But that is the issue. You don't have that. So it's like when I was at US Express, I think I pretty much had a decent dispatcher. It was a lady, and she was very gung-ho because her father owned a trucking company. He had about 15 trucks, she told me, and she didn't even take breaks throughout the day because she needed to concentrate on the drivers she had. She had a lot of drivers, but when she wasn't there, all hell broke loose. No one knew what was going on. No one had information, and records are not kept. There's so much red tape involved. There's so many people you have to go through. When you have to make a phone call, it goes from one person to another person to another person. You're on hold here, on hold here, on hold here. Then you get hung up on at some point, and then you have to call back and go through the whole process over again, right? And then if you're just starting out, right, and you're a trainee, then you make pennies on the dollar. You make pennies. You're lucky if you make 30 cents a mile, right? You're very lucky. Then when you finally get into a truck yourself, you're lucky if you can even get to 40 cents a mile, okay? And they don't want you home except every three weeks. So this is what you're dealing with, all right? And then you're going to owe them a lot of money for accepting their tuition. So you're going to be contracted them for quite a long time. And then you got the no competition clause, which some of these places have. And what that means is if you bounce on them and try to go to Joe Blow's Trucking LLC, well, then they're going to send a letter to Joe Blow's Trucking LLC saying you can't hire so-and-so because we have a contract, and therefore we're going to sue you if you do. Now that contract, that is not binding. They can't really do that. All right. C.R. England's been sued for that already, and they found out that it's not legally binding. But the issue is still that companies don't want to go through the legal process of getting rid of that. It's easy to get out of the contract, go home and don't go back. Let them terminate you, okay? Let them terminate you, and contract is over. It'll take about a couple weeks for them to figure out you're not coming back. They're going to send you like, hey, if you don't contact this and this and that, we're going to terminate you, blah, blah. Okay, great. Don't reply, and they'll eventually terminate you. So even if you go to US Express and you see I posted, if you go to a League of Professional Truck Drivers, you see I posted the article about the lawsuits and stuff like that. and the court did not accept the lawsuit because it's too low. The settlement's too low, so they're going to take it a step further. They want U.S. Xpress to sweeten the pot a little more because it's like 1/40th or whatever. You can also look at Trucking Answers. He talks about it too. But enough of that. Let's dig into all of these mega carriers, because this is the problem. All right, it's good that they give people a job. I'm not going to take nothing away from anybody having to go here, because if you're a felon, there's very few places you can go. My friend found that out, and he was trying to go through these trucking companies, and they were just like, no. Every door was just slammed in his face. And then he went to Schwerman, and they were told, oh, we're going to treat you like family and this and that. We've been around for over 100 years and blah, blah, blah. And then they just crap all over him in the process. They treat him like he was a slave, you know. He wanted to go OTR or regional, but they kept giving him this route and then sending him text messages and this and that. And Schwerman is not a small company, because it's Tankstar. All right, that's not a small company. It's Tankstar. All right, if you see the video I did on that, it talks about his plight there and how poorly he was treated when he had a severe back injury. You know, they treated him very poorly and ended up terminating him as a result of that. And even though he was approved through workman's comp and everything, and actually had a viable assessment done by a physician saying that he had that messed up disc in his back as a result of the road injury. So you're dealing with CR England. Look, you're going to go there. They have their own trucking school. It's called Premier Trucking School, whatever. But dude, it's base. You're not going to learn. You're going to learn how to do a little bit of backing and stuff, but you're 17 days, 10 hours a day. Okay, it's very concentrated, and they push you through. They only train you to pass your CDL test. The only thing you're learning is to pass your CDL test. You know, my friend Dale also went there. He said, during his training, there was 3 guys in the truck. It's kind of funny, so they had the bottom bunk here, and he had 2 other bunks. The other bunk went along the passenger side over the passenger seat, he stated. And he said his trainer slept all day. He said his trainer slept all day, and that he never let the trainees learn any backing. Every time that backing needed to be handled, he did it. So Dale said when he went to another job, they had to teach him how to back. All right. So we're also getting bad training from mega carriers. Bad training from mega carriers. All right. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, so you can take it how you want it. A company should never put a person in the capacity of a driver trainer unless he has at least 2 years OTR experience, right? I'm going to say OTR. I'm going to say sleeper truck, because a day cab is not a sleeper truck. Day cab is much easier to maneuver in a spot than a sleeper truck. You need a truck with a sleeper if you're going to train OTR guy, because he needs the extra length. He needs to see how this thing is going to look in the mirror, right? He needs to get used to the space, the length, the width, all that. He needs to get used to this. So we have this issue with the mega carriers all around the board. The pay is horrible. The training is really bad. You know, they try to mire you down in contracts and things like that. But to the naive individual coming into the industry who doesn't know any better, they don't know what's on the other side of the street, right? They don't know. So when you come in, you're thinking you have all these high hopes. You have high hopes, and you have these dreams and aspirations of what you want to do. And these recruiters are very good at making you believe that. When you get to orientation is geared for you to believe that you're in the greatest company in the United States in the world to drive for. That's what their job is, to convince you of that you're there, right? And it's far from the truth. It's a very oxymoronic thing to do to get someone to believe. It's a lie. It's just a flagrant lie. You know, when I went to US Xpress, and knowing with my experience in dealing with companies, and I was starting to see red flags in orientation, because there's 50 people here twice a week. 50 people twice a week in orientation US Xpress. That's how bad the turnover rate is. Okay? So that's automatically a red flag. All right? My brother went to Covenant, found out the same thing. 36 people that made it through orientation didn't even have a truck. Week and a half later, they assigned him a truck. Like, hey, your truck's ready, but they're already with a different company. Went through orientation, hired it on the road. You know, which I'm with a company is like a fifth of their size, maybe probably smaller than that. Anyways, so that's another issue. All right, but they come in there and you get these speeches from people, from managers, from vice presidents or whoever, like, I've been here 30 years, that's the greatest company in the world, and blah blah blah. Well, he gets paid to say that, and I'm pretty sure he gets paid pretty damn well to say that. But when you drive there, you're not going to get paid all that great, right? So, but the training, the company-based training is so polluted with inexperienced trainers and drivers. It's unreal. You know, a guy needs to know and have enough integrity to understand if he doesn't have a requisite amount of experience, he should not be training someone else how to drive. Because even after years and years and years, you still don't know everything about driving. You're still going to come across circumstances and situations that you have never came across before and that you have to figure out on the fly. I just have to do it out here. I get in, like, the guy who helps me book my loads, and I'm not forced dispatch at all. I can go anywhere I want. You know, he just books the load for me. So I end up in places that are very challenging and backing. I've been jackknifed into a door. You know, so that's something you don't want a trainee to have to do, because it takes a certain amount of skill to pull that off. You know, to where you only have 10 feet from the bumper of your truck, the front bumper of your tractor, you know, until obstacles ahead of you. So it takes a certain amount of maneuvering, very tight, to get into that type of space. My wife was with me just, not too many days ago, and she had to watch me go through all this stuff. So she has an appreciation already, even prior to that. She's been with me before in the truck, of what goes into this profession when you're a professional truck driver, and you have to go into some of these places that are extremely tight, that don't seem like they're made for trucks. Maybe a day cab or a straight trucker or something like that. Maybe a 34-foot trailer, maybe even a 40-foot trailer. You know, back in the day when we used to haul 40-foot trailers back in the 90s and the 80s and whatever. So anyways, that's an issue. So we're dealing with mega carriers, guys. You know, how many entry-level individuals do the appropriate amount of research? I'm pretty sure very little, because these recruiters get at you so fast. If you put in for a job, you fill out the application, look, it's going to be less than 15 minutes or so on a weekday, open hours, boom, your phone is going to start blowing off the line. I mean, you're going to have text messages, emails, phone calls. They're going to be hitting your phone up like crazy. It's going to go down, you know, and they're going to hit you up fast. It'll probably be less than a couple minutes. As soon as it hits their computer, boom, phone call, text messages, emails, you know, and they got these great emails that outline their company in such a romanticized and fantastical way. You know, it's convincing. It's a sales pitch. Never forget, recruiters are hired to sell you the job. All right, you need to understand that how that works. To sell you the job. They're here to close you on the job. Now, those of you who have any type of salesman experience can understand and appreciate what I'm trying to say. All right, recruiters are salesmen. They're trying to sell you a job and close you. How they close you? They get you into orientation. The sale is not closed until you have went through orientation. Then they start making money off you, and that's not a bad thing that recruiters make money off you by your length of tenure. You know, up to 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. You know, they make money because that's their job. That's what they get paid to do. You know. But, however, it would be nice to go to a company that told you the truth. Now, I'm not in any way, shape, or form using this video to recruit people to BB Key Group where I'm at. But when Mr. B, I'm gonna call him Mr. B, you can actually look at the videos of BB Key Group. You'll probably figure some things out yourself. When he first called me, all right, and he got my information, he called me. I told him that I am not accepting no BS. None. I said if I come here through orientation and I sniff out any type of BS, I'm history, dude. You would have paid for the plane ticket and all the Ubers and the hotel ticket for nothing. Right? Because I am paying very close attention to how the entire process is not only handled, but also sold to me. Right? Are you just trying to sell me a piece of crap? Or are you actually trying to sell me something legitimate? All right? That's what I'm looking for. 6.5 months, I'm still happy. So I have to look at it like that. And I feel so bad, when I see guys in the mega carriers, with these mega carriers, I'm glad they got a job. Man, I just want them to be trained properly. I want them to be trained to be truck drivers, to be responsible and safe and respectful and courteous on the road. Because some of these guys, they're not getting that training. They drive trucks like they drive their cars, And it doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, race. That means nothing. What means something is the habits you become comfortable with, right, are not safe habits, right? A safe habit would be sitting up in your seat properly so you can have a good vantage point to look around you, to see your mirrors clearly, to see down your hood, things like that. Safe habits are braking early. Safe habits are staying in the appropriate lane as compared to your speed, not cutting people off, being respectful, things like that. It's just safe habits. You have to be courteous in a truck because you have to understand how much destruction this thing can do. All right. Mega carriers, gentlemen and ladies, are sometimes just not where it's at. Please do your research. Look at reviews. All right. Go on some of the trucking pages and Facebook and ask. And look, you're going to get hammered with all types of negativity. And there's a reason for it, is because the culture surrounding mega carriers is that bad. All right. Now you're looking at a time right now when brokerage rates have plummeted because brokers are taking advantage of the current state of the economy and are withholding from truck drivers. But I'm not going to get into the politics of the brokers. What I am going to state is, you're dealing with mega carriers who have no respect for other companies. They have no respect for other companies. All right. It's a business. They're going to undercut. They're going to do this and that, And if you want that a company that's going to be genuine with you, then you have to do the appropriate amount of research, and then you have to sell yourself, right? Now people are going to ask me, well, what are you guys going to do when you come in? You have no experience. Well, they're like, hey, look, my friend went to Tank Star or Schwerman with no experience, right out of trucking school, and they paid for his schooling and all that stuff, and he started working there, and he didn't have no experience. And it's not a mega carrier, but it's not a small carrier either. You can find companies that will take you. You can find better companies. I'm not on here to recruit for any other companies and stuff, but I'm going to be objective about what I know and what I believe I know, from an educated guess. I can look at a company called Magnum. They drive the blue pizzas Magnum on the side of the trucks. And I've came across some of their, they have a couple of trainers that have years of experience and will train you appropriately, right? But they're not a mega carrier in the sense that you think like Western Express, CR England, US Express, CRST, Covenant, and JB Hunt, Schneider, and all that stuff is concerned. It's not like that. So you just have to do your research, man. You cannot take no for an answer. You have to knock on every door. You have to call every phone. You have to bug people. You have to be insanely aggressive about what you're trying to achieve, when you come into the industry. And I'm only telling you this because I want you to come into the industry with as less of a headache as possible, right? And you don't have to deal with all with all some of the stuff that some of us have went through dealing with the mega carriers. You know, you can ask me. I mean, there's so many YouTube channels out here that deal with mega carriers. Some of these guys are recruiters. They're just here to recruit you. They're not going to tell you the truth and be objective about where they work at. They're not going to tell you the company I work for is a piece of crap, and you probably won't be happy here. You'll probably be gone in a few months. All right. You go to U.S. Express, you're probably going to be gone in a few months. You go to USCR, you'll probably be gone in a few months, and on and on and on. It's just the same old story. Every mega carrier you go to, some of you might not even make it through orientation. You're like, I don't want to be here, bounce. You know? And some you might get stranded there because you have no other recourse but to ride it out until you have an exit strategy. You know? So therein lies the issue. But do your research. Go on the trucking pages and Facebook and do your best to find individuals who will help steer you in the right direction. I will try to help you. Look, you can go to Trucker Todd's YouTube channel. I'm sure he will try to help you. He's doing really great where he's at, and but he's very objective about what he does. He'll tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. He has a video all about it, and he's pointed out when it comes to Roadrunner the negative things and the positive things. You know, some people want more negative, some people want more positive, but he has to draw a line because in order to be truthful, he can't sway one way or the other partially. He can't do that. He has to keep a middle ground. You know, even though he is a road recruiter, he still has to be genuine in his approach and not just sell you the job, but show you through his experience that it's good. You know, here where I'm at, you need at least 2 years experience to be where I'm at. Okay? And that's because of insurance issues. All right? The insurance companies want that type of stuff. Roadrunner freight or / transportation only requires a year. You know, you could be a company driver there as far as we were told at 45, 46 cents a mile, whatever. Or you can be a lease purchase. If you have a year or more, you can be a lease purchase operator, contractor, and do LTL and do what Mr. Trucker Todd does, and who's being very successful. But when you do that, you only get out what you put in. And he works his ass off. So he gets treated well, you know, and that's very important. But you can look at other companies too and do research and talk to people, talk to truck drivers, get on, you know, go on YouTube channels and, you know, ask those truck drivers questions, you know, and you're going to know when someone's just trying to recruit you and when someone's trying to give you the straightforward facts. All right. Someone who does not want to tell you any negativity about the company, they're just trying to recruit you, man. Oh, this company's great. You're going to love it here. You're going to make all types of money. Yeah, here, use my name for a referral. All right. That's what that's about. Okay. So with that, please like and subscribe. You know, let us move forward in a positive direction. No trolling or negativity, please. I'm just going to remove you if you're coming out here being disrespectful. I don't appreciate it. But, you know, I love comments where I can honestly answer comments and questions to help people move forward. And I like to be critiqued. If you believe I'm doing something wrong, approach me respectfully, please. Right? And we will have a very respectful and cordial conversation about it. With that, you've just seen Randy's Roll Life, and I'm out of here. You have a good day.